Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
We do have some special guests here today.
Speaking of mamas.
It's Mother's Day.
It is. And so we have some special guests here today. Maria is here. She is Chinzia and Lydia's mom. And my mom, Paula, is here.
Hi.
Very exciting.
She's Diane's mom.
Yes, she is my mom. We thought in honor of Mother's Day, we would not have a cat here. We thought we would.
She wants to be involved.
That's your baby.
You're a mom too.
Yes,
Your pet mom.
We thought we would maybe, we've shared a lot of our experiences throughout the years being boy band fans, but that's only from our perspective. And so we thought it might be fun to have our moms on and get their perspective on what it was like to be the mom of some pretty intense fangirls who, were doing all kinds of crazy things. So let's just get started, I guess. So I guess, we'll start back like in the 90s when, we were just starting to get into boy bands. Myself.
Puberty, perhaps.
What's that?
Puberty, perhaps.
Why do you always go there? Why?
Yes. I'm just saying. It's part of life, Chinzia.
And the timing, coincided.
That's right.
That's true. We were, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Growing,
developing.
There you go.
Emotional.
And so I guess during those times we were pretty young. So you guys, I guess, more dictated what we were and weren't allowed to do. We didn't really have the access to the boy bands that we have now. So what was your memories of that time?
Who starts?
Whoever wants to.
Okay.
Take the lead, Paula.
I can start.
Okay.
So, yeah, she was still in, I would say, elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. And her and her friends, and we started hearing about these Backstreet Boy things. I didn't know what it was, but whatever. But you're right. Puberty sure played a part in this because she got very emotional a lot of times about out of ordinary emotional, about these boy bands and whether she could get the CD or the magazine became her whole world. That was everything to her. And
wristbands.
Yeah, having to line up in any magazine, any article, anything, we had to get it. And her and her father had many discussions about putting posters on the wall because it's going to stick the paint and that's not allowed. And then she would cry. And then, yeah, it was intense. I've got some stories I could share.
Yes, share them, Paula.
It's a Mother's Day spilling of the tea.
Yeah.
Childhood.
All right. One of my favorite ones that it wasn't favorite, but, and it didn't have to do with the Backstreet Boys. It actually had to do with O-Town. So on my husband's side of the family, they like to do picnics outdoors. We would go to a provincial park and rent the place and, the shelter thing in case it rains. And there's a bunch of them and we'd have 30 people there. And
we're Italian. There's a lot of people.
There was a lot of
food.
A lot of tons.
In the good old days when a lot of us could get together.
Right.
In our houses.
And the food was we'd get there early in the morning, 8:30 and eat nonstop till 8:30 at night, constantly be eating something. Anyway, that's so she didn't come. Diane didn't come to this one for whatever reason. She was at home, and I get a phone call while I'm at this park with all her Nona and all her Zias and everything from her. And she's literally hyperventilating and sobbing on the other end of the phone. And I'm like, Diane, what's wrong, Diane? She wasn't speaking. She was just crying and and I'm like, oh my God, somebody stabbed her. She's in the house. Like, what is happening? Oh no.
Mother's thoughts always go to those things.
And then that, not only me, then these people around me can hear me saying, Diane, what's wrong, Diane? And so Nona starts crying because what's wrong with Diane and what's happening with them. The Zias are all like, oh my God, what's wrong? You know, they're all getting hysterical. Her friend got, what was it, Diane? I don't know.
She won the front row tickets and the backstage passes to see
Woo!
What it was.
That's a big deal.
It was 2001. Like access to like that seemed impossible to me at the time.
Fair.
This was like the equivalent of winning the lottery to me in 2001. Like I just won $10 million, you know?
And your first thought was to call your mother and go,
I guess I wanted to let her know that we were going. Like it wasn't too much before the concert.
She couldn't speak. She was like, oh, Mom, and I'm like, what? And then everybody, so I had to calm them. And they found out, they're like, what? What?
What's up now? Who's that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's cute.
I followed it up by calling all my other friends and being like, "Get us on!" Same thing.
Oh, so you could talk
Didn't
to
think
them.
I was-
Oh, so your mom was like the buffer.
you were the first
nice.
call,
That's
Paula.
cute. You're the
First
first
person.
one on her list.
There you go. She just was, it was crazy. She got everybody all up in hysterics because
Oh, yeah.
Poor Nuna.
Nona's crying.
Diana's a Diane.
Oh, no. Okay, more. Give us more stories, Paula.
You want to go back and forth?
I thought you were going to start, honestly, with the first Backstreet Boys concert that Marla and I went to and how, like, crazy that was.
Yeah, there was that one too. First of all, let's start with, we had to go line up just to get a wristband so that then we could line up again just to get tickets. And they couldn't go themselves, so the two moms had to go too.
We didn't even get tickets, did we? We lined up outside Dixie
Oh,
Valley Mall and we didn't
yeah.
even get tickets.
We didn't
Aw.
even
I was crying again.
Yes. She
Oh.
was crying in her puberty years. She's not like Diane. She's not a crier.
Were you crying though?
No, yeah, I've never seen Diane cry ever. Yeah.
The one
No,
thing she
Diane's
doesn't
not
remember
a
us crying.
crier, really.
Yeah.
No.
We're just kind of more take charge people. I feel like.
Yeah, you're like a type A. You're just like, all right, guys, this is the plan. Like,
Yeah.
Puberty, as you said, the hormone.
There you go.
We didn't get the tickets. You're right. I forgot that. Then the second time we did.
The second time we did, but the first time we had to get them from Doug.
Right.
Oh.
Yes. Was that the first time? See, I get them confused.
Hmm.
And is that the time? Yeah, that's the time that we had to let you go in by yourselves, right?
Yes.
That was hard because
Aw.
they're going to get trampled. They're going to get like we were. And we waited. They had it was at Rogers Center, I want to say.
I don't.
Was there like a parent waiting room or?
Yes. And so
Oh.
Lisa, my friend Lisa and I had to sit in this area where the parents were sitting with a bunch of other parents. But it was good. They had like cookies and coffee and
Oh, that's nice.
That would have been fun if the band actually went to go meet the parents just to piss off the kids.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Not really yet. But we could see like their buses and the behind the stage thing. Like we could see all their handlers, I guess, or whatever you want to call them.
Did it cost money for that, or did you have to
No.
sign up? You just
No.
okay.
That was because the kids that were going were so young that they didn't want all these parents standing around like doing what. I don't think they do it anymore now.
No.
I don't know.
I don't. Maybe for
I've
like
never heard of it.
artists that have younger fans.
Maybe like a
Backstreet
Justin
Boys
Bieber.
certainly don't.
No, definitely not for the Backstreet Boys anymore.
That would be a nice service, though.
It would have been
You know what?
nice.
Maybe they can switch it to a daycare and you just put your kids, your babies.
Or I was thinking like a husband waiting area.
Good one.
Yeah.
Please take that.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
That was good. I have many stories, but I don't want to monopolize. So I don't know, you know.
I can't recall many stories. So
I guess when we went to Much Music that time, or the first time we
Did
went to
you
Much
take
Music?
you took mom to Much Music?
No, when we went to Much Music and you put us on the bus type thing.
yeah. Well,
What about
I
Maria?
had a very strict upbringing. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere or do anything. So I
Me
thought I
either.
would give my kids the opportunity to do this.
Right.
So while doing that, I was giving myself anxiety attacks.
Yes.
So for Christmas, she was 15 years old. I got her a cell phone because I thought at least I can keep in
Right.
contact with her, and she's got this cell phone to.
This was at a time, people, where cell phones were very new
They were
Yes.
very new.
And it
and
was a
very
flip phone. I still
limited.
have it.
For a teenager to have a cell phone was unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
So like I know like nowadays
I'm
like
worth it,
kids are
baby.
born with like an iPad in their hand, but in those days, like this was before like Nokia even.
So what
Yeah.
used to happen when we would go to Trump, because we started following Serial Joe first, I believe,
We did.
right? Or
Yes.
I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, so we would go, and then there was a bus station for the Go Bus to come back. So what we would do is right before we got on the Go Bus, we would call mom,
Yes, like
Yeah,
on the
and say,
payphone.
Forgot that.
and they were like, "We're getting on the bus. We'll be
But-
there in an hour."
Please record your name. And it's like, you're getting a collect call from, hi, we're on the bus, we'll see you in an hour. Would you like to go?
Pick us up in an hour when the bus came.
So the thing is,
And it was free.
mom would only accept the collect call if we were in super shit. Like if we were like, yes, I'll accept the call from it. And then we're just like,
And they knew that they.
Remember one time you got really mad because Survivor was on, and you were just like, "I'm supposed to watch Survivor. You were supposed to come either an hour before, or an hour later." So,
and we're like, please don't pick up the collect call. Please don't pick up the collect call.
or she would be like sarcastic to this like recorded voice. "I don't know anyone by the name of. See you in an hour, Mom. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I don't think I'm going to collect this." We're like, "Just hang up the phone." We're so,
I had to have fun too.
yes.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the first time that we went and we met in sync, and you couldn't come because I think you were working. So you made Nuna, you somehow got
Poor
Nuna
Nuna.
convinced to come. with
Oh
us.
my God, because you
You
wouldn't
remember how
stop.
that-
And I thought, well, how else am I going to do this? They're going
We need, who's an adult here? Nuna. And like Nuna was like such a Nuna during the entire process. Like
So we
went
had
on
to go
yeah.
because we took the train.
There's no
to
way she would
Pickering.
have done that for me in my teenage years. Let me
Yeah.
just tell you.
Yeah, I know.
okay?
Yeah. I feel like grandkids got like a little bit more like buffer.
So there was like a
we-
pass
yeah,
that you could
we
get because it was either going to be like $15.50 a person, or you could get a day pass with one
the
adult
family pass.
and up to 4 children for like $30 or
It was
something.
so good.
So mom's like, "Well,"
Cheap, eh? Cheap.
she's like, "Might as well do this." And then I have a supervisor, so then like I did all the research of how to get there and stuff.
I would just pick
She
mine.
always did.
So then we got there, and
She
this
planned everything.
train to Pickering took 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
We were stuck in Fort Credit
Oh
forever.
my God, I was just like, I just need to get off this
Fort
train. Like,
Credit.
I
don't know
literally, when the
where
doors
hell it
opened,
is.
I leaped off the train and almost injured my knee.
You did, yeah.
Because it was like, and then there was like, we're like, "How do we get there?" They're like, "Oh, here's a bus to the Pickering." And we're like, "It's 50 cents. We're like, "Okay." So we pay this 50 cents. It literally turned, like, just drove us over the tracks, and the mall was behind us. And we're like, "Wow, that's great." So on the way back, we did pay the 50 cents. We walked. But then we're like trying to run through the mall, and poor Nuna, like, she could walk well.
Her knees were good back then.
Her knees
Back
were good,
then.
but we're like trying to figure out where we needed to be. And then we finally find it, and we got like, they were only giving out 200 wristbands, and we got like 196 or something. So we finally, and we were like
It was
hours in advance, but there were so many people there. And Nuna had a little bag, and she had apples, and she was cutting up apples for us in the mall.
It was like, you know how like the Italians do that, like the, you know, like the one rind to rule
Yeah,
them
yeah,
all?
yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, this is good shit.
Yeah.
And
So it
then,
was
and then
us,
she
our
was
friend
tired,
Gina,
and then so she asked the storekeep to sit on a stool.
She like, I couldn't see because it was too far away. So she just like literally goes into a store and somehow gets a bench from like a stool, so I could stand and take really shitty pictures with my non-zoom
Do you remember when like the pictures were like this big, and we're like,
Like-
these are amazing.
Is that the one where you had to develop them? Too?
Yes, at
it's hard to develop
Fortino's, yeah. And then our Fortino's was like had like a wall of fame. So if you had like a really good picture, they would make a copy of it for themselves and stick it up on the wall of fame. You're like, oh, that's my picture.
We had all of our own town pictures. And stuff. So
It's just
I
we
don't
spent
think
so
Nona
much
even
money on
went to meet in
development.
sync. I
of
think she
shitty
didn't
pictures.
she did. I don't know if she gave away her wristband or.
No, no.
I don't think she.
I don't think
even
she got a
one.
wristband,
She was
no.
just like, oh, I just wait. So we literally just spent the day at the mall with Nona,
The
like
entire
sitting in front of this stupid booth the entire time.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Like
and
now
then
imagining
Mom,
it, I'm
I
like,
was
how
in
the
high
hell?
school.
Yeah.
So then Mom's like, well, I can't say that you're going to see a boy band. They're going to ask me why you can't go to school. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, I got this. So then she like called the school and said that I had a specialist appointment in Pickering with Dr. Kirkpatrick. So that's why I couldn't go to school that day.
Amazing.
So
That
yeah,
was good.
so-
That was good. And like to the point where like one time, like, because like
You
You know-
remember all these things. I don't even remember.
it was
these things.
good. It was, I mean, yeah,
Wow.
you were a
It's like I
solid.
can't lie to them entirely.
Yeah.
It's true.
I might get in trouble.
I know.
So
Like I remember
can't
like
lie.
one time like we called the school, right? And then like the main office, like the receptionists were just like, what boy band's in town this time? And we're like, no, actually our Nona's dead, so we can't come to school today. Very sorry. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
You remember that?
forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, sorry. But just okay. To be fair, though, I mean, we made it out of high
allowed
school, and we're
26 days.
slightly intelligent. So I feel like missing school wasn't all that bad. Like at least we got our diplomas.
You were allowed 10. You were allowed 10 sick days before you got written up for it. So we just spaced
Do
it
they
out.
not have mental day leaves? Or
I'm
something?
sure. Well, not back then. No,
Not back then.
We didn't
but
talk
now.
about shit back
No.
then. Yeah, like now,
Like,
yeah,
Olivia and I
we're-
even got like tests changed because we're like, listen, we're going to go see NSYNC. We can't have this test. And then the religion
And
teacher got
sync is
pissed off
more
at us.
important than your.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Cool.
she's changed it. We're like, listen, can Olivia and I take the test early? No, you're going to give everybody the answers. We'll just move the test another day if that's okay with you. I was like, thank you, that'd be great. Yeah, works for me. I'm good.
That's amazing.
Well, you volunteered to enough things at school.
Yeah,
you
that's
put in a lot of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I would always have to take the day after the concert off. So I would go to school the day of the concert because then what am I going to do? Sit around and stew, right? But I would have to take the day after off because I would be like dead and have no voice. So
I was going to say because she couldn't speak, screaming. The first concert I went to with her, I swear I didn't hear for 3 days.
I know that feeling.
It was because Diane was screeching the entire time.
she wanted to come.
Yeah, Mom didn't want to come to concerts.
Well, it's
Really? I
expensive.
went to Aqua with you.
That was recently.
That was like in
Yeah.
our adult years, though.
That woman had that purse that she had wine in it,
Yes.
and there was a little thing that you could take.
Oh, she had like a little nozzle with wine in her purse.
So where'd you find that?
Brilliant.
eBay.
Didn't Maria, you meet
She
them
used to-
in Calgary or something?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My birthday.
So I said to her, "That's okay. You guys go because
So
you'll get
essentially
more
what had
enjoyment out of
happened
it."
was I was part of the Backstreet Boys fan club, and there was a concert in Calgary that just happened to be around when her birthday was, and her best friend was living in Calgary.
At the time.
So she's like, I think I'm going to go. Do you want to come? And then I looked at that thing. I'm like, yes, I do, because there's a concert.
I thought it was because she wanted to come see Angie. I didn't know about
Well,
this.
that too.
Ulterior
I'm like, I like
motives.
Calgary. So I didn't buy any tickets because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to convince them to go. But I did go in the fan club, and they used to have like you could win a free meet and greet. So I did that, and I didn't hear back from them. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then literally 2 hours after we landed, we got the congratulations, you've won this meet and greet, but it was only for one person. I'm
Uh-oh.
like, how am I going to do this? And then, and Rosie was there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So I said, hey guys, I won this. They're like, that's nice. You just go to
You
the
go,
concert.
we'll drop you off, and then we'll pick you
It's
up.
fine. And then she was showering, and then Rosie and Angie were like, we want to go see the Backstreet Boys. Let's just buy tickets. I'm like, okay. So then
And
I
she
got us.
knew that I just wanted to spend time with my girlfriend, and I said, "We'll drop you off." And so I was expecting in my mind, okay, she bought herself one ticket. We're dropping her off, and me and my girlfriends are going to spend some time together.
No.
Right.
Right. Because it was cheaper to buy pit tickets anyways, and it's her birthday. So I figured might as well get front of the stage pit access.
So then she's got, we got to go to Dollarama to get cardboard so we can make little
They have
signs.
Dollarama in that.
It was
Profits?
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Dollarama's across.
So then she said to me, "What do you want me to write on yours?" I said, "My daughter made me come." So she actually did. And I held it up. Did they not take that picture and put it in the Calgary News?
Oh, my God.
It was
And
funny.
didn't you get some love from Kevin?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she
In the
did.
middle of the concert, Kevin comes up to her
Kevin.
while he wasn't singing and was like, "How are you enjoying the show?" And she's like, "It's very good, thank you." And he's like, "Okay, good."
Aw.
Yeah,
Kevin's
it was
the
sweet.
Backstreet Boys.
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Rosie
They all
got
are.
to
They're all
dance with
adorable.
AJ because they came into the pit. So really, it was I figure if you're gonna go big or stay home, right? Might as well be in the front row.
Might as well. Why not, right?
And the pit was not crowded in Calgary. We could move
Wow.
around it, so it wasn't like
It wasn't like
it wasn't claustrophobic. It wasn't too
Like
claustrophobic.
sardines.
Nice.
It was-
Everybody was so nice.
Yeah, it was like very like breezy and lovely. Yeah,
Awesome.
Who had come down to dance and then Rosie went to dance with them?
AJ,
AJ. Yeah.
of course.
There you go.
Yeah.
But no,
You're
Mom
right.
didn't get to meet them. I ended up giving my VIP pass to Rosie because she bought the cheaper one so that she could meet them. And then I just
That
got
was
to
nice
meet
of
them
you.
quick.
Yeah. Good sacrifice. Well done.
Yes, because her kids would never allow her to go to these things, right? So
Yeah, because like some people
some
like
people
don't like hanging
want
out
their
with their
moms
parents.
hanging out at concerts with them. I don't
Right.
know why. She used to come to Serial Joe once.
Yeah, you did.
I was in one of their videos.
She was in a music video.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Nice.
It was a funeral scene.
Yes. And she had a very
It
nice
was on
hat.
VHS, and she had to show everyone this VHS tape so much that the tape broke.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. But if you
Oh,
look
wow.
up Serial Joe Deep on YouTube, you'll see her in her fancy
I have
hat.
my hat with this
I
feather
think
coming
Shinji
down.
has shared some of these videos in
Yes.
the group
Yeah.
chat.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but
So-
she was.
And I think Rico
cool
was
stuff.
in there.
Rico
No,
was also in that one.
Rico
yes.
was in the other one completely.
was in
No, he
both.
was in
He
that
was in
one.
both? Okay. Yeah. We had a very close, of course, we can't go one episode without talking about Serial Joe.
Of
But
course.
it's just, they
They're
were
like
great.
family,
They
right?
kind of were, yeah. It was fun, yeah. So what about like your mom? Let's hear some
Yeah.
GCT.
So it's kind of similar to Maria that I really couldn't do much going out or whatever, but we were able to mine was different than my brother's. Bobby could do whatever he wanted, and I
yeah.
because I'm the girl in the family.
Yup.
But yeah, I was able to watch TV. They're like, okay, you can't go out, but you can watch TV. So that's why I was able to watch like all the BSB intimate and interactives. I could go. I went to the mall with my mom. Whenever they were on magazines, we went to the store to buy them.
Ah.
Yeah, so my mom helped in other ways, even though I couldn't go to concerts. She helped me tape up posters to my walls.
Aw.
She convinced my dad that it was okay to do that.
Oh, that's
Not
sweet.
lying.
What else? I wrote some notes.
Oh yeah.
She did. She supported it because her and her sister, my aunt, loved Greek singers and music. So they're like, oh, that's like normal for a teenager to like those kinds of things. So she's like, we'll help you. Don't worry.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Yeah. What else? And then she would help convince my dad to like, my friends like live close by. So she would help them. She would help me convince my dad to sleep over at my friend's house so we can have like parties there and like watch music videos. So
Yeah, because like the Europeans, like, oh, why are you going to sleep somewhere? You have a nice bed here.
yeah, exactly. And then my cousin would get involved too in '99. That was my first concert.
Yeah.
So she helped in that way too. So my mom was like, oh, Aditi is going. So why doesn't Sophia go? So then he was like, yes, okay, that's fine. You're going with your cousin.
It's a family member. It's safe.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. And her boyfriend, who now is her husband, used to work at the Sky Dome and would sneak us in '99 to see the concert. Oh my gosh, did I talk about this at school every time until it was coming? They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm so excited to go and see them. Yeah.
See, and the fact that it was free was also probably a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you said your mom was in Greek singers. Were you into any boy bands when you were younger, or bands, or?
In high school, I liked the Bay City Rollers.
Ooh.
And I wanted these pair of jean pants that had plaid on the sides so
Ooh.
badly, but my mother refused.
Ah.
So I would visit my girlfriend Elena, and she had every single album that the Bay City Rollers had put out, and we'd sing SATURDAY.
Nice.
So that was my experience.
And then the girls with the kilts, they would wear the kilts, right? To the concerts and stuff.
Well, I wore it to school, but
I remember seeing the girls with the kilts. Isn't that the Bay City Rollers with the
I think
kilts?
so, yeah.
yes, yeah.
Didn't you say somebody was at a mall downtown or something at Jackson Square?
No, what's that, Mr.
Was
T?
that
Mr. T was at the
Franco
airport.
Family?
I pity the fool.
Don't remember. Oh, I thought you said something that you just happened to be at a mall downtown and there was like some band doing an autograph signing or something. Okay, maybe.
What about you, Paula? Who did you follow when you were younger?
I did have posters on my walls. Well, not posters. You know the centerfold of a magazine? Like,
Mm.
those, and then you'd have to carefully take the
Staples.
staples so you didn't
Yeah.
put the thing of David Cassidy from the Partridge Family.
My
I
girlfriend
had
did
him all over
too.
my wall and imagined, like Diane was sure she was going to marry Nick Carter, I was sure I was going to marry David Cassidy when I was younger. But I lived in a small town. You didn't go like what I know. What is this stupidness? You don't go to concerts. What a waste of money. Like, and you're going to get killed there. And it's in Toronto. Oh my God. Like,
Someone got shot in Toronto. That's going to be you.
Exactly. I was probably in my early 20s, maybe late teens before I even went to a concert. And it was the Beach Boys
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
at the CNE.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
First concert I ever went to, and way up there, because CNE, if you got admission, you got to sit, but you were like way far away.
Wow.
Yeah, I did have David Cassidy on my walls in my bedroom when I was a teenager. So not quite as many Nick Carter pictures we had everywhere.
Listen,
Posters and billboards and
space was limited because, as she said, my dad wouldn't allow me to ruin the paint. So,
How did Mark get around that idea? Because I feel like Mark has a lot of posters.
I forged the path for Mark. You see.
Oh.
So first he was like, you can put it on the closet, because the closet was like a different, like the paint wouldn't come off of that.
Yeah.
Right. So I had like sliding closet doors.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can put it on there. So then every inch of that was covered.
Every inch you can see.
So then I got like a cork board, like a
Bulletin board.
A bulletin board, there you go. And I nailed it to the wall, and then I covered that with like smaller pictures.
Very nice.
And I would like stick pictures. I had like a vanity, I guess. And I would stick pictures in the side of the mirror, like in the frame.
They were framed, or she could hang them with a nail, like she had like some, those ones on a board, and they, then that was okay. She could put those on the wall because she could hang them with a nail. He just didn't want tape.
Yes.
It's going to.
One year, it was for Christmas or for my birthday. Yeah, we got this ginormous, I still have it, ginormous, like it's like a plaque, and it's huge. And I was like, well, this can be hung on the wall with nails.
Yes.
Her whole room, everything. In the basement, I could show you where she wrote on the insulation, BSB rules, I love BSB, all over the place. She wrote it.
Oh,
Insulation.
Because our basement isn't finished, right? So there's insulation, and then it's
Like
covered
the
by
pink
plastic.
Okay.
There's like a plastic covering.
Plastic.
And
That makes
so
more sense. Okay.
I think we were having Christmas down there or something.
Yeah.
And my mom wanted to cover the insulation. So she was like, write like Merry Christmas on there. So it's like distracting that it's not insulation. And I was like, write on it, you say?
You're so creative.
There you go. See?
Then I'm pretty sure it was like a battle of Mark and I, me writing like Mark sucks.
I was gonna say, and then Mark got into it. Wasn't he into like Raw and
Wrestling and stuff? Yeah,
writing all wrestling stuff. And I thought, oh, Merry Christmas, guys!
Oh, no.
Diane still writes on things because I got window markers and she wrote on my bedroom window. I can't remember. I think it's like Diane
I also
is awesome.
wrote on your bedroom window.
It says
you did.
Diane is the coolest and Josh sucks.
Yes, you did write that. It's still there.
And I think a BFB for life or something.
Yes, I think you did. Yes.
Yeah.
It's starting
So-
to fade though. I think we need to rewrite it once we. Yes.
All
Any
of
idea
the
what
cool
concert
work-
you went to first?
Mom, you went to a concert?
Who, me?
Yes,
Yeah.
you. I'm looking at you. You're beside me.
I went to Brian Adams. But he's just
that
a
you were an
single-
adult though,
Yeah, I was an adult.
so you didn't go to anything when you were young.
I got engaged when I was 16.
Okay.
I got married at 17. I had
She couldn't
my
do
first
much.
kid by 18. Where was I going to go? I think the first concert I went to was the guy. What's that guy? The Cat came back the very next day.
Raffi.
No,
Fred Penner.
Penner. Fred Penner.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
That was my first concert.
Oh,
Then I wanted to have you guys know who the Beatles were, so I took you to the tribute of the Beatles. And my
Tell us.
husband was working a night shift. So I said, Tony, when you come home, go to sleep because tonight I have tickets for us to go to Hamilton Place to see the tribute to the Beatles because I want the kids to know their music.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes home and he takes off. All right. So here we go because we had these tickets. We're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear so, girls in the
So we
back
know
are
where
laughing.
trivia gets it from?
I was so upset. You know,
It was hilarious. They were laughing, take pictures. I had a loose tooth. I pulled it out, and there was a smiley face in it.
Oh, I remember that
It was
too.
very
Aw.
exciting.
That was a good too.
That's so cute.
Yes.
That was a good trip.
Her dad didn't actually ever go to a concert with you, but the dads got volunteered when you guys went to Hamilton, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
So the mom said, forget it. We're not driving to Hamilton. Your turn. You guys go and sit there for 2 hours or more waiting for them. So he did drive them there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what did you get?
Nice.
What did him and Uncle Dennis get you?
Him and Uncle Dennis drove us there. They had a parent waiting area, same thing. Our dads were a little more intense when it came to free things. So they were like, free coffee, you say? We'll have 20. Like, so by the time the concert was over, they were like, and so like we came out of the concert, like the first time we came out of the concert, I remember Marla and I were like, it was Mom and Auntie Lisa, and they were like, we're going to meet by this tree. Like, come out, wait by this tree, like we'll find you.
Yes, yeah, because we were so paranoid we wouldn't find them in these crowds.
So Marla and I actually got to the tree first. And then we saw the moms coming. And as we saw them coming, we actually stood up. Like the tree was in like a little, I don't know, like cement holder. And we stood on top of it so they could see us.
Nice.
So then they saw us coming and we like jumped off the thing. We were like, that was the best. Oh my God, it was amazing. And they're like, okay. Like, you know, Marla thought I was going to die.
She's probably hyperventilating again.
She was like, she's like, I thought Dee was dead because she screamed for 5 minutes straight when Big came out. I was like,
Yeah.
Good lung capacity you got there. Good job,
and
buddy.
this was actually only our second Backstreet Boys concert, and we came out, and I feel like our dads were more like hyped up from the coffee, and they were like, "We got you these stickers. Look, they have these stickers over here. They have Backstreet Boys on them. We got them for you." And we're like, "Okay."
Sweet.
Diane, which was the one? Was that the concert? Remember, we were walking through the subway thing, from the arena.
Yes, we walk on the sidewalk. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd, like everyone there, was singing "I Want It That Way."
Yeah, the whole thing, the skywalk was
It was so cool. Like
everybody was singing.
Oh,
That's cool.
oh, flash
was
dance
really
or
cool.
It was kind of like a flash mob, but this was 1999. It definitely, flash mobs weren't a thing. It was just a bunch of extremely hyper teenagers like leaving a Backstreet Boys concert and just like, yeah.
Aw.
That was really fun. That was fun. Even though I couldn't hear because Diane had screamed in my ear for 5 minutes.
No, that was the first one, Mom. So I went after that concert in November 11th, 1999. I went to every single Backstreet Boys concert in Toronto after that. And I think that was like not until like that was the concert that got rescheduled because AJ went to rehab and all that stuff. So that was like a bit later. You went
Okay.
with Nancy, right?
And your friend Genevieve, who got the Old Town tickets that you were screaming.
Her mom was also there. So there was like 3 moms, and then me and Genevieve and Justina they wanted to come.
The more heard about the free coffee.
Then she was like, I'm never going to a concert with you again. Never. And then now in our adult years, she was like, I want to come to the Backstreet
Oh,
Boys
I had fun when we went to Vegas.
Vegas was
That was fun.
It was
I said,
great.
oh my God, he's right here. And she goes,
Yes.
I know we planned it that way.
Yeah, so obviously Diane and I and
I
Sophia
know.
were very
I
intense.
didn't know why they weren't excited. Well, I thought, what?
I was all excited. Oh my God.
So we
Lydia was
researched where the
excited
boys
too.
would
Oh my
be.
God, Lydia was
We didn't tell Lydia.
Well, you guys didn't tell me that. Oh,
Didn't
this
tell
is the
us
seat
either.
where he pops out of the ground or
So
whatever.
we were right between where Nick and AJ were.
yeah.
Yes, by the sound booth. So then, like, we knew the part was coming because we had seen the show several times, but they didn't. And like the reaction from oh my God,
That was amazing. Yeah.
it's right there. I know. Lydia was like,
Well, there's like 6 of us, so we almost, I think, took up the entire row.
I think
Yeah,
we
we
got
did.
Yeah.
There's been only 6 seats there. And so Maria was like on the far end closest to Nick, and Lydia was on the far end closest to AJ. So I think they had like the most intense reactions because they were like, whoa!
like they were like there.
It was right there.
That was very
That was
entertaining.
exciting. That was
That was
we're like, we can't get close tickets, so let's get like
Close to
one
that. Yeah.
To their backside.
Because the
I'm
close
glad
tickets
that you
were very
girls
expensive.
followed the Backstreet Boys, because if it wasn't for that and their fan club, we wouldn't all have met.
No.
So I'm very
It's true.
blessed
It's
having
true.
girls in my life.
But were you skeptical at first? You know, we talked a lot about the early days, but I can remember the first time wanting to like travel to see the Backstreet Boys, and my mom was not impressed or
Oh, we're scared.
approving of that.
He was meeting up with strangers. As far as I'm concerned, these were, how does she know they're not serial killers? Like, how does she know they're not going to stab her or try and, I don't know, attack
Rob
her?
her.
Was
I
this
was
Jenny?
so nervous about it because they were just online, not Chinzia. It wasn't Chinzia.
No, it wasn't me. It was
Sophia. It was these people that live in the States and somebody who lives in
England.
Well, these
England.
ones used to sit on the street to overnight almost to be there in the morning. And I'm thinking,
Oh, yeah,
what
we
kind of
camp
a
it
mother am
Can't
I?
get that much.
I know. He's great. He's up. We earned every one of these.
I would like to say though, but you never wanted to sleep out on the streets of Much Music anyway. So
What? Like now that I have like a conscious mind and I can say no to you, it's like that sucks a lot.
So listen, I was 15, Lydia was 12, and my mom's
Oh,
like, "You're not going to Toronto by yourself. Take Lydia." And I was like, "All right." And then that was the thing. She like the buddy system. I'm like, but I have to take care of Lydia because she's young.
Yeah, like I was useless, dude. Like I don't know why. Like
Well, I was working. I couldn't go with
It was
them.
more.
so
I feel
it's-
like she thought that I would be more responsible if I was taking care of somebody else. I
oh,
think.
maybe. Yeah. 'cause,
No,
like
she always
the
cared about the
buddy
I
buddy
was
system.
not
So
helpful
when
at all.
Lydia was not helpful.
The other
No.
person,
Safety in
I just
numbers.
did my own.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So. I guess so.
well,
Yes.
didn't you put her on a bus?
Oh yeah, you sent me back on the bus.
Okay, but that was the Spice Girls thing. Okay, that was one time. So, okay, listen.
Oh God.
Lydia and I were in a music video for Cyril Joe. It was our first music video. It was Obsession.
Yes, it was.
And that was recording on the Saturday. And the Spice Girls.
That's when my leg fell asleep and I almost got ran over by the car. Remember?
What? That was hilarious.
How is that hilarious?
I told you that. Sorry.
Hey, listen. So it was a crowd scene. We're all sitting on the ground, and they're like,
Jesus.
"Okay, this car is gonna come. You all get up and run away." So we're like, "Okay," but we had to sit cross-legged
For like a while.
and then so Lydia's leg falls asleep. So, but that got good footage of Lydia being like terrified and running.
That was real. That was real emotion.
Listen, the car was going very slow.
dear
It would
God.
not have hit her.
That sounds amazing.
Wouldn't have hit her much.
Use the car if they could have just used the camera.
So it was Dan's cousin who was doing it at
Yes.
the time. He was new to film. So they're like,
Warren
he's gonna do this.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
But anyways,
What time was it when I picked you up at the bus
this
station?
is the same time.
And you
yes,
had-
I'm explaining this story.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Lydia,
Oh, dear
my
God.
best friend at the time, Rob, who was garbage,
He's
was supposed to come, but he didn't come. And he's like, "Listen, I don't care about Cyril Joe. You and Lydia shoot the music video, and then I will come in at nighttime, and then I'll sleep over with you to get the Spice Girls wristbands because the Spice Girls thing was the next day." And Lydia didn't care about the Spice Girls, or
I had a day. I almost got ran over by a car. I just wanted to go home.
and my parents were in
I
Ohio,
can understand that.
right? So it was Rico who had just barely learned how to drive.
Yes.
So he was the one who was supposed to pick us up. So, all right, fine. So we did there, and Lydia's like, "Yeah, I'm not sleeping over for the Spice Girls thing. Rob's supposed to come. I don't care. I'm going."
Really, I should have because of what happened afterwards.
So that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
So then we're like, cool. So then I call Rico. I'm like, "Hey, I'm putting Lydia on the bus. Go pick her up in an hour, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Okay, fine." So that's fine. So I'm waiting, and Rob doesn't come,
Shocking.
which is fine because I'd already made friends with these other crazies hanging out for Spice Girls. And there was like a mom
Jesus.
figure there. She called herself Mom. She gave us some Jolt Cola, which is very highly caffeinated cola. Yeah, it's good times. Anyways, I was a little concerned that maybe he was died because he was meeting up with somebody on the internet and going away to his house.
Yes, he was having a booty call, which was, by the way, we didn't know that he was at that
The
time.
best part is that he was supposed to hook up with the one brother, ends up hooking up with the other brother instead. Anyways, long story short, he doesn't show up. I'm by myself. I'm like, all right, I'm here, whatever. Yoquo.
We did mention Rob was trash earlier.
Yes. So anyway, so he just doesn't come. So I'm standing there, and I'd been overnight. We didn't really get any sleep. We were like singing and we're like hanging out and stuff. And then I just start feeling like very like dizzy. I was at the front of the barricade, right in front of the window. And I just wasn't like, I guess I was feeling dizzy or tired or whatever. So the paramedics,
Dehydration.
what?
Dehydration.
Probably dehydrated, yes. So the paramedics take me inside. They're like, "Oh my God, you have an irregular heartbeat and taking you to the hospital." We're like,
No,
I'm
I
like,
can't tell.
okay. And I was
See?
15 at the time. So I was like, okay. So I have a little Spice Girls lunchbox and shit. So I end up going there. And then they like run some tests and give me some lunch and stuff. And they're like, "Yeah, you're fine." And then I was like, "Hey, I was in the newspaper." And they bought me the newspaper because the reporter was there the day before to take pictures of us. So I was like, okay. And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, we need to call your parents." I'm like, "My parents are in Ohio." They're like, "Well, you're 15. You're fine. Sign off on this form." I was like, okay. So I had like the little EKG stickers and stuff. But I was like, I'm just going to keep this on for street cred. So then I was like, "Can you point me back in the direction of Much Music?" So they're like, "Yeah, it's over there." So I'm like, cool. So they're like, come back. I don't get my front row spot, but security did let me into like the area and stuff. And again, Rob did not show up. So then I come home, and then my mom is now picking me up from the GO station. And she's like, "Oh, how was everything? Was it good?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And she's like, "What the heck is this? What is this sticker? What is this little metal thing coming out of your chest?" I'm like, "Oh, they did like an EKG." Who did this? What happened? Where were you? I was like, I was
dear.
at Mount Sinai Hospital. She's like, "Why were you at the hospital? Why didn't you call me? What's wrong with you?" I was like,
hairs.
"We're in Ohio." I'm like, "It's fine." They let me sign myself out. I didn't have to pay anything. She's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Yeah, so it was she's like, "I'm never letting you go to Toronto again." Where was Lydia? And then
Where
then
was
she
Lydia?
Just like, and then she still let me go again. So.
Yeah.
And then Rob showed up a day later.
She always had. I don't know why you didn't become a lawyer.
I
swear to God.
know.
You won your case every single time.
She's such a good negotiator. And she only used that power for herself, by the way. Because Aaron Carter could have been my husband if I had gone to that music video shooting. But you were like, I don't feel in the mood to use my negotiation skills today. And I was like, Cynthia, no,
Working.
now is the time. And you're just like, Meg.
Well, maybe you need to make your feelings more well known that you wanted to go to.
I
the
think it was pretty clear. I liked Aaron Carter quite a bit, and I would have liked him to be my husband. Although nowadays, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. He's a little,
Well, maybe
You bit the bullet there.
yeah. No,
But
this husband's
anyways,
much
yeah,
better
so-
than what Aaron would have been. Yikes.
So that was probably the most stressed out I think you've been about any of the events that I've gone to.
Only one hospitalization. It's fine.
Then they sent us a bill for the ambulance, and I was like, I'm not paying this. So then it's had something for your health card. So I put my health card number in and sent it back, and then never heard back from them. So I was like, Much Music should be paying for the ambulance because they're the one who forced me to do it.
I didn't
That's
want to
true.
leave the barricade.
Yeah.
I know.
That's funny.
Diane used to get so mad at me because they always had those Much Music things on Father's Day. It was always seemed to be on Father's Day, and I would never
MMVAs,
because
Yeah.
it was
video awards.
Oh, yes.
Yes, those are good times.
always. She would be so mad at me. Everyone else is
I was
I
never
couldn't
allowed
go
to
either.
cross
I was
the-
able to watch on TV like
Did your dad
always.
care about Father's Day?
No, I don't
We
think
had to go to Nono's. It was more about going to visit Nono and his fam. Like, you know, we'd have a family gathering at the park or wherever, you know.
Yeah. We went to the MMVAs a few
These
times.
ones
Yeah, we
I
went
bought
to the
tickets
MMVAs.
to go see Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, the
Aquarium.
Oh, that was some BS that year.
Aquarium.
Oh, I was
They were
so
going to the
mad.
Aquarium, and my dad's like, "Well, you guys just
You
go.
enjoy it. And we're like, this is
We're
Father's
taking you
Day.
for Father's Day." Then he gives us like $100. Like, go buy yourself some dinner too. We're like, I don't think this is how Father's Day is supposed to work, buddy. And he's like, I just want to relax on the couch. We're like, okay.
I guess like sending us away was his own present.
Literally, dad's only done
He wanted some peace and quiet. That was the gift.
Go away.
Yeah, pretty much.
the
Pretty much.
gift of not having children for Father's Day.
Yeah, you're so funny.
Yeah, we only made him go to one thing. Mom made him go because I said, hey, I want to go see the Serial Joe thing on Christmas Eve morning.
I didn't make him go. I just said, no,
So,
I'm not driving.
I'm not driving you at 4 a.m. to Toronto because it was before buses, right? So I actually had to get the actual drive to Toronto.
Ugh.
It's like, I'm not going. And then he just happened to be kitchen. But why you don't want to take your daughter? Your daughter wants to go to this thing. You don't want to go? Blah, blah, blah. And then mom's like, fine, you drive her. And then he's like, okay. And then like the morning, we were supposed to meet up with my one friend whose dad also was driving. And then we were meeting up in Mississauga and going because the dad was in Orangeville. He's like, I'm not driving you all the way to Toronto.
Fair.
So then my dad's like, Mo, are you crazy? Why the fuck we leave this early? I'm like, I told you. And he's like, okay. So we like go and there's the concert and stuff. And they were giving out free ribs and everything. And we're leaving. We dropped my friend Teresa off. And then my dad's like, I'm so hungry. And I go, why are you hungry? Like
They were giving out free
they were
ribs.
giving out free rib, like racks of ribs, like tons of like granted, yes, it was between 5 and 9 in the morning. So maybe not breakfast food, but whatever. He's like, change here. It's a Christmas Eve. You cannot eat the meat on a Christmas Eve, says the man who never goes to church ever. We're like, okay. So then we ended up finding a McDonald's and he got filet-o-fish. And that particular McDonald's still had the McPizza.
Oh,
So that
Ooh,
was
nice.
the last time I had a McPizza.
Great.
McPizza was great.
99.
I
It
remember
was
it. Though.
delicious. I got the cheese one, obviously.
Obviously.
That's so good.
But yeah, he's never at all once gone to things. And at the beginning, when we were going to concerts, my mom's like, oh, this is exciting. I've never gone to concerts. Here's some money for tickets and for the bus and stuff. And then after a while, she's like, you're going to too many concerts. Go get a fucking job. So that is why I got a job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Speaking
the
of
opposite
getting
word
up
off.
early, there again, O Town. Wasn't it O Town, Diane?
Man.
At Square One. What, 4 in the morning, 3?
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 in the morning.
It
Yeah.
was still dark, and I drove her to the parking lot of Square One so she could get, and then she didn't get the wristband.
Because they
And-
lied.
You were there that early?
What happened, Dee?
Because here's what happened. O-Town were supposed to be at Square One. So I made my mom drive me to the mall, and we went to the place that was like host, whatever, HMV or whatever it was. And I was like, do I have to get a wristband? Like, how does this work? Like, whatever. And they were like, yeah, you have to get a wristband, but we're not giving them out till the day of. And I was like, what? And they're like, no. So you have to come here like the day of. And I'm like, okay, so are people like lining up? And they're like, no, nobody's going to be allowed to line up until the day of, until the mall opens at 10. We're not letting anyone inside the mall and blah, blah, blah. And so like a chump, like a 15-year-old chump, I believed them. But I still had an inkling of doubt because I was like, nobody's going to come line up ahead of time, right? So I had said to my friend Justina, I'm like, let's just go like really early in the morning, right? And we'll like scope out the scene and see if anyone's there. And then if there's people there, we'll line up, like, and then if there isn't, we can just go home and come back at 10. And so, because we lived really close to the mall.
And their parents have nothing better to do than drive them back and forth. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we get there at whatever time it was, and there's a million people there.
Uh-oh.
And I walk up to the door, and there's a security guard, and he's like, all the wristbands are gone. I'm like, that's impossible because this is what they told me, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, these people have been here since last night. And I'm like, they specifically told me no one would be allowed to come overnight. And he was like, well, they did. And I said, then why are they inside the mall? They should be outside. He's like, it was raining and cold. I'm like, so what? I'm like, if they wanted to wait outside, they should have waited outside. And he's like, I'm security. I can do whatever I want. And then I may have told him to fuck off. And then Justina's dad, who like was very Polish and didn't speak much English, but definitely knew what that meant, was killing himself laughing, was like dying. And I was like, it's ridiculous. This guy just thinks he can do whatever he wants. And then we didn't get through it. We left because
did you end up coming back?
She was one of the cheaters.
Listen,
Sorry, I didn't catch
out of
any of
town.
that.
When we went for Enrique, we camped out overnight at the mall. Remember?
Yeah,
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. Enrique had like really tight pants that day. Ooh. Nice.
Yeah. So
Bananas?
I don't know if we didn't get the wristbands either, though. We came at. Did you come for the O-Town thing?
I'm drawing a blank. I don't.
It's
think
the one
so.
with the bears.
Maybe. I don't know. I was young at the time. I
It
don't
was
remember.
me,
Barely remember
Gina,
last
Olivia,
week. It has been a long
Stephanie
time.
from London. Did you come?
I'm gonna say no because I have no recollection. I know the bears. I was there with you.
So we made all
during
these
the bear
bears,
making.
but we were also told not to line up because I think it even said on the website, "Do not come early,"
Yeah.
or whatever. So we went as early as the Go bus would get us there, and it takes like a ridiculous time to get there, taking different public transits. So we get there, and they were out of wristbands. So I remember like Stephanie, everybody was pissed off, but there was people like hanging out. But we're like, but we made these bears. These bears are great. And we were like trying to like go for like Kiss 92 because they all had dressed up as the boys. And then Stephanie, I think, ended up like finding some other friends in the crowd, or she ended up like getting in the crowd. And I'm like, I don't want to stand in this crowd all day. So we like went around the mall, got food, stuff like that. So, and we were just kind of like hanging out by the radio station. And finally the radio station people were like, yeah, these bears are really cute. Let's see what we can do. We'll get you. So then they ended up putting us first in front of everybody. So they had like radio station contest winners, and then they had all the wristband people. So we were after the contest winners and whatever.
Nice.
So, but at that time, because the crowd was so huge, we couldn't find my friend Stephanie, could not find her at all. And she had, I think, can't remember whose bears she had. No, she didn't have any of the bears. We were holding all the bears.
Yeah.
So we were able to give all the bears to the boys, and they were like super excited. We took pictures. Those are the ones that Fortino's put on the Wall of Fame.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, so that was a fun time. And then after, we didn't find her till afterwards. And then she wanted to try to meet them, but they couldn't. Like, they're like, sorry, like the opportunity, the window's gone, whatever. So, but yeah, so there you go. So bring presents that are cute and appeal to radio station people, and they might help you.
Interesting.
And
That
maybe
was not
telling
that
them
happy.
to F off is not a good idea.
I didn't tell Kiss 92 to fuck off. I told a mall security guard.
Eh,
Rightfully deserved.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to get taken down a peg.
He really pissed me
look out
off.
for a lot of things. We would number things. There'd be a whole like system of having to do this.
What's
So
doing
people
what?
that get screwed.
What?
I don't know. When we used to camp out for things.
Okay. Well, sorry. What was your point? Say again.
I have no idea.
When you used to number
We
things?
used, yeah,
What are you
you
talking
would get there,
What are
and then
you
people would like get their friends to come in line. You're like, no, that's not how this works. So unless like you're like at the back of the line type thing, there was like a whole like
There was a hierarchy.
of camping out and waiting. for
What really made me mad, honestly, was that this mall security guard who literally was like hired to work the night shift, clearly, so not a lot would be going on,
Fair.
told me, I'm mall security. I can do whatever I want. And I was like, excuse me?
Those are fighting words.
That's because he felt bad for all these girls. And so he let them wait inside the mall. And
This is
I
Old
was
Town
like-
we're talking about.
I was like, you broke the rules. Like, you guys said it. I'm type A. I'm like, these are the rules, and you broke the rules.
You're a rule
I need
follower.
to speak to your manager.
Literally. If I was, if I had that savvy at the time, I would have waited around till the mall opened, and I would have been like, this guy should be fired because these are the rules. Or I would have waited till HMV opened and been like, no, none of these people are in line because they were here from last night. So the security guard thinks he can do whatever he wants. But you said the rules were this, so they should all go back outside now.
I spoke to Aaron at 6:31 p.m. He told me these instructions.
I documented everything.
Yes, exactly. But
You really had a lot of
I said
bad luck with O-Town,
So-
eh? Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Poor Paula probably hates O-Town now.
O-Town are delightful. If you have not watched our O-Town interview, it's a couple episodes back.
They were
It's really good.
Episode one.
It was good.
It's a good
It was
interview.
good. They were very charming. They were very charming,
They
very
were.
reasonable, down to earth. Like they
Yeah.
didn't seem like, oh, we're so cool. Like not at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Diane would have met them back then, that might have been that 5 minutes of screaming. I don't know.
I did meet them back then.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
Now,
You did.
this mall incident was before, but the
Ah.
screaming on the cell phone and all that was after. It was about maybe a year later.
And no
Yeah, they were
pictures.
like my second
Oh.
favorite boy band. If it was Backstreet Boys, I probably would have been dead. You guys like ripped to me, like
We were on a
So Paula, would you go to an O-Town concert after all these years? Are you gonna put the torch
I
down
think you would enjoy
see them?
what like.
Maria and I'll go. We'll do it. In these days.
Let's do it. Why not?
Oh, we should probably. Sorry, I was going to say earlier. So, when you started traveling for the first time, you went to Kentucky. Was
I
it?
went to Atlanta.
Atlanta. How
Yeah.
did your mom take the news of that? Of you like?
Well, she's like, well, you're old enough now, so you're not under our thumb too much. You can make your own decisions, kind of like, right? You're old enough. So she was like, okay, as long as you're safe with a friend. And I called her and I was like letting her know, like, I'm here.
That was their
I'm
first
okay.
time leaving the country too, right?
Yeah, that was my first time on a plane,
Oh,
really.
wow.
That was her
Oh,
first to
wow.
everything. And the people that you met didn't like you didn't go with anyone from Canada, right? Like you
No, I met everyone in the US and we
Oh,
drove
wow.
together there. Yeah. It was a good
Oh,
experience.
that's cool.
Yeah, I was at the Healthy Heart Club event for Brian.
Oh yeah, because he had a heart problem.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it over now, or is
Yes.
he?
Yeah,
He
it
had
did.
They
it.
had surgery many years ago.
Oh right, he did.
But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was like a really cool event. Like they had like you hung out with Brian and Leanne like the whole weekend or whatever, right?
Yeah, we
It was
had fun. Oh, there was like a VIP dinner the first year. And then there was like a tango kind of dance thing.
Ooh.
They performed. And then we did
There was a
booth
carnival.
photos where we took photos with Leanne and Brian in a photo booth. So that was fun.
Oh,
And wasn't there like a
Yeah.
basketball game or something? Or
And
like-
Yeah,
you
we
went all
played
by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, my friends and I went together.
Oh,
we were
that's
playing.
wicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Online friends, though. These are people you hadn't actually met in person, right?
No.
These were
Not
the early
yet.
days of the internet, people.
We
have to
just were
understand.
talking online.
These
Yeah.
were like
Okay.
message boards and like ICQ chats. Like this was like you gotta understand the time.
It wasn't that far back, but if you're a Backstreet Boys fan, it was like in the live daily days.
Yes.
What's like
And
We weren't.
it was
oh
it was
It's a forum.
It was
Oh.
a forum, yeah.
Oh.
But we definitely like there was Twitter and stuff, and like
Twitter was not around back then.
no, but I'm saying when I went, it was 2010. Like it wasn't.
Okay, I was gonna say okay,
Okay.
but I guess we're older. We're the same age.
Yeah.
You guys started doing that stuff way before I did.
Oh,
That was
okay, okay.
2010.
You guys did a lot of things. I wasn't allowed
Thanks,
to do
Mom.
so.
Thanks, Mom.
I just watched TV.
Like I went,
Mom
wrote it into it, but
I went to things that were in Toronto, and that like, my parents
Yeah.
could drive me to, or that when I got older, I could drive myself or take public transit to. But I didn't travel. I didn't leave the GTA. You know.
First time I met
The first time I met the boys was in 2009 or 2010.
Okay.
The same year Chinzia met them. We were actually at the same one, but we didn't know each other.
Yes, but we had met Howie before. That was Mom's first boy. Is he the only boy band member you've met so far?
a one-on-one, yeah.
Yes. So speaking of
Well,
not being
same for my
Right.
mom.
Yeah, there you go. So for ours,
Good old Howie.
Howie and the boys were kind of on a break, and Howie was doing stuff with the Duro Lupus Foundation, and he was doing a
Because
dinner
his sister
cruise.
wasn't well.
She may have
She had
passed
died
already. I
at
think
that
she had
time?
already died.
Yeah, she had already passed.
So I'm surprised Diane didn't go to this one because it was in Toronto, but it was like
It's
I
Howie.
did- it was-
hello.
She didn't like Howie.
I figured
It was only $50 for the ticket.
it was a 3-hour
It was
dinner boat
Howie.
cruise.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, Mom, Howie from the Backstreet Boys is going to be in Toronto. We should go. How much is the ticket? I'm like, oh, it's only $50. You get dinner and everything. She's like,
So I thought,
Deal.
oh, $50.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gave her $50, only to find out years later that it was like, what, 150?
it was either 100 or 100. It wasn't more than 150.
So I thought, I'm not giving her the difference.
I didn't ask for the difference. You provided the ride to Toronto,
I did.
and you had fun. Did you not have fun?
I did have
Howie was
fun.
fun.
He was
We
really
took
sweet.
pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howie
And then
was the
Paula-
hardest one to meet. Yours was easy,
Oh,
right?
Howie was so easy to meet.
Yeah.
And then I had dinner with him, lunch with him the next year and stuff we did. But Paula, Howie was the first one you met too, right? When that was in
Yes,
Vegas?
in Vegas.
First and only.
Yes.
First and only, yes. And his mother's name is my name, Paula. He thought that was
Aw.
See, that was
did
sweet.
it for me. Said, you mean Paula, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how else you would spell Paula. Okay.
That's cute.
Yes. So Paula and Howie had a good moment. And then
It's a nice icebreaker.
How did that happen?
To be fair,
you
it
and
was in
Lydia
Vegas.
said, we don't want to do a VIP, screw you. And then
That is the
I
night
didn't
that
say-
Chinzia came home at 3 o'clock in the morning screaming because her legs were rock solid.
Oh,
Remember?
Yes.
Sorry.
I remember
what did
that
you and
now.
Lydia do that night?
We went to bed. I was like, I'm not going to know, like,
Oh, we had dinner. And then
Oh,
yeah,
went
we
to
had a
bed.
nice dinner, I think. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the
You
picture.
had a nice dinner at baguettes and stuff you guys were telling us.
This was in
Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah.
It was in
Yeah.
Vegas. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
At the
Paula
Plus,
That's
Oh my
right.
god, that afternoon
Where
was
was the
so
message?
boring.
What?
At 4 in the morning?
Yeah, I may have not eaten dinner and had a few.
Yes.
It comes with free drinks, so you can't afford the free
You
drink.
might as well go
Exactly.
with it.
This mother-daughter team was like, nah, we don't need to eat dinner. We'll just drink.
You guys didn't eat pizza that we had on our way into the concert. We were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we got
You guys
pizza.
had pizza and stuff, but we were like, oh no, we don't want it. And then we drank alcohol on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have messaged my son at 4 in the morning.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Boys
Because
do rude things in this club. Rude.
people were grinding on each other.
Oh,
it was
Like,
hilarious.
what is this? What is happening? What are you doing? They don't even know each
Like,
other.
keep
She doesn't even look happy. What is this? And then
Yes.
Diane was like, "Oh, Mark goes to clubs. Does Mark do this?"
No, that's not how it happened. I was like, I forward, stop looking at these people. Just
Keep walking.
She's trying to like cover Paula's eyes so that she doesn't see this.
she's like, Mark goes to clubs? Does Mark do this? I'm like, no, I'm sure he doesn't. Okay. Like,
So Sophia and I encouraged Paula to text.
Yes,
Mark.
we encourage you to text this message.
And I did. This morning he answered and said, no, he doesn't, but lying. She just said, yeah.
It was fantastic.
Oh, good times.
So you both met
Good
Howie.
times. Good times.
long story short, don't take your mom to a nightclub to meet Howie, okay?
I was what, 63, 62 at the time?
It was 2019, so
I'm
Yeah.
64 now, so 62.
There you
yeah.
go.
That's good.
And a nightclub with all these young people doing rude things. Like, it was like, oh my goodness. But I
How
wanted
dare
to
they?
know. I wanted to do this meet and greet thing. I wanted to see what it's like. And
Nice.
I got my picture taken with Howie, which I never did get a copy of that picture, but whatever.
Yes, you did.
It's
It's on
on.
Facebook.
Print it out. Like,
Oh, you want to print
Oh.
it?
Oh, you
Okay.
should.
you know,
Yeah.
old fashioned.
Mother's Day
Diane,
gift.
Mother's Day gift.
Next year. I already have one over here.
The more the merrier, really.
Yeah, so I don't know, unless anyone has any final thoughts on having a fangirl as a daughter.
So even though you have a European family, you can still be a fangirl within the European family.
That's true. That's
And
true.
moms will still support you any way they can, even though sometimes they don't want to, or they don't speak English. They do in their own way support you.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, same as Maria said earlier, I am so grateful for the friends that she's made and the people that I've met through her and her, it's been a lot of fun, and I wouldn't trade it. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah.
So you worry for nothing.
Wow.
Maybe not for
We're
nothing.
always going to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what moms
in the hospital one day, but
Diane never got in hospital, that's right.
that's true.
Do you have any final thoughts, ma'am?
I too. I'm very grateful that you girls are so passionate about all of this and that you allow us to be a part of it too. So thank you.
Aw.
Love you, Paula. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
And happy Mother's Day to your mom too,
Mother's Day to
Sophia.
everyone.
I will tell her. Thank you.
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next
Thank you for
time.
inviting us.
Thanks for listening.
Everybody wave bye.
Bye.